I became a nurse because of it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Power Rangers started in '94. I had an accident late '94, which meant I was in hospital for ages. And the two combined together because I had to think about how I was going to help people the way the Power Rangers help people, and so I became a nurse.
I became a prop maker. I made this. My wife actually made the costume. So my wife puts up with me, she helps me out, and first she was a bit, weirded out by it, but then she kind of grew on it. She's cosplayed as Power Rangers before. We've done shopping malls as Power Rangers. We got married, they played Power Rangers in the church. I had a Power Ranger on the wedding cake. She's kind of used to it now. Everyone, in her family, on her hen do, they went around asking questions, see how much you know about the bride. One of the questions was, what's her favorite cartoon character? Everybody put Power Rangers in her family, and she's like, I don't even like Power Rangers.
Not really. I mean, it was sort of something that.
Okay.
Oh. An awkward moment when you're giving an interview and a Power Ranger walks in.
Now, we've been waiting 7 years for this guy to come back.
In 1993, Power Rangers first aired in the United States, and like most kids my age, I was 7. I fell in love with that show. Blue-colored suits, teenagers with attitude, and giant robots and giant rubber monsters. I was in love with the show, and I stayed on until Power Rangers in Space, because then they killed Zordon, and Zordon created the Morphing Grid. So how can you have more Power Rangers? And I stopped watching it. But I didn't know the show kept on going, even after that. It wasn't until I was in college, in film school, that I discovered that it had been going on even after In Space. It was 2004, 2005. Dino Thunder was what I was watching when Tommy came back. And so I started watching it again, and the show's still going on. And I figured that there was a convention created by the fans. I never got to go until 2014, and I figured I still watch the show. I'm like, but why is it still as big as it is? Maybe not as popular, but still going 20 years later. And that's what I set out to do, to figure out why Power Rangers is still as big. It's still going on.
Welcome to the 2014 Power Morphicon! The largest Power Rangers convention created for you, all of our wonderful Power Rangers fans.
So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the first team, they were dinosaurs, right? That was the motif. But from what I noticed from all the Power Rangers series, it was the same story. 5 teenagers with attitude, rubber monster. The monster gets big, they get their robots, and they fight. But how can that keep going on? How does that keep going 20 years stronger? So what I noticed was that while the story was kind of the same, the themes and the motifs changed, like SPD and Time Force.
SPD was season 13, and it was about Space Patrol Delta, a group of Power Rangers and a Power Ranger Academy that protect Earth from alien invasion.
Time Force was basically some mutants escaped to the past, so cops from the future had to go back, and one of the cops was a Power Ranger, and he supposedly died, and then they ran into his ancestor, they gave him the Morpher, and it was one of the few seasons that, believe it or not, the Red Ranger wasn't the leader. It was the Pink Ranger, and I thought that was pretty cool too. I like Time Force because I like the story. It's one of the actual few seasons that has ongoing plot, and Eric was just cool.
So, in Japan, the Red Ranger is usually the leader, so it is in the States. And the reason why I bring up Japan is because they're... well, take a look.
Oh! Oh! Ranger! Breaker! Original Ranger! Originals! Tiger Ranger! Tabel Daga! Killer Ranger! Killer Sentai! Zyuranger!
show to America, and it made a whole nother show called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
撮影の途中で、アメリカから、このプロデューサーが来て、新聞で見ました。で、僕のマネージャー、言うた、アメリカ、自分じゃん。俺が知らないわけないだろう。なんでお前は新聞で知るんだ。事務所で知ってるはずだろう。おかしいじゃないか。
So while they were filming, the American producer came to him and told him about the Power Rangers. And then the manager later on came up to him and told him that he saw it on the newspaper and he was very excited to tell Yuta. But Yuta was just aghast. How could you find out about this whole thing after me? You should know about this.
Yeah, we did get to watch some of the Japanese footage. It's amazing, and a lot of it's synced in with the American footage to make the full show.
Well, the Japanese show is crazy. I love the Japanese show. It's a bit more violent, but I've seen a lot of what they do on their shows, and I can understand why it's really popular because they do some really insane stuff, and it makes the American version look a little tame at times, you know.
The last guy that just talked, Christopher Kamen Lee, the Red Space Ranger. Okay, cool. I'm cool. He was one of my favorite Red Rangers, and because of him, I did something with my hair that he talks about on his next segment. This is me just as a fan. I wondered how, and I asked the producers and the actors how it affected them, and just what they had to say.
Well, let's see. How do I answer that? I mean, professionally, it affected me because I guess professionally and personally, SPD affected my life the same because it was a dream come true to be able to just jump into a universe and do whatever you want. And I always tell people like it was my Star Wars. I got to like create the stories I wanted and the characters I wanted and the creatures and the designs and the spaceships and the guns. It was like I was like a kid in a candy store, and not that many people get to do that. Even other executive producers of network shows, like there's always a giant network breathing down your neck, telling you like what things should be and how it should go. And I had a lot of freedom, so it was kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity. Not to mention that not to mention that I made tons of friends for life, including the cast that inspired me to do other projects, and I like include them in all those things all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Power Rangers was my first major job as an actor, so that was huge for me. It was so much fun to be on a show like that, with such a fan base, first up. It was fantastic.
Well, at this point now, I don't get recognized as much because my hair does not look ridiculous with big stupid yellow stripes going through it. So that actually is a good thing, but when I had to walk around like that, I was constantly being called out for being who I was, and it's kind of hard to hide that, But it was a lot of fun, so I enjoyed it anyways.
I too bleached my hair like he did when I was 14, and then again when I was 21. That was an effect on my life that Power Rangers had. And I kind of liked it. I saw pictures of that. I look like an idiot. But still I was wondering, why is Power Rangers still so big? What is it about Power Rangers that people enjoy? Of all ages too, not just kids.
It's just as big as it is because where it started, with Mighty Morphin, Well, at least for me. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, when I first saw Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I was like, wow, I think I could be a Power Ranger. Everybody thinks that, They're normal people out there fighting the world and beating people up. So, why not have, a little kid or something come out and be a Power Ranger? So, I don't know.
Giant fighting robots.
Think what it is?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
I think killer costumes. Kids want to be like a ninja, just like it's a new, different thing. It's not exactly like it's its own thing, and especially boys wanting to be something imaginary. Yeah, superheroes.
It's kind of like in Japan. There's like magical girls and like Sailor Moon. This is more like the guy version in a way, but then there's still girls.
So girls can be more badass.
Yeah. I mean, because it's awesome. I think Power Rangers is as huge today as it was when it started because it's like the ultimate fantasy. Everybody has a hero inside them. Everybody wants to be able to, like, you know, defend the Earth and save the universe and kick some ass. And Power Rangers just like lets everybody, boys and girls and young and old, feel like they have a chance to be that. So
I like Greg Adams' answer. That there's something about everyone wanting to be a superhero, no matter your age. There's something pure about Power Rangers that shouldn't be messed with. Even after some fan films came out and tried to take it in a different direction, you just can't mess with that. And I don't know why I like the show. I don't think I got clear answers of why people still like it. Just people seem to like what they like. And I know I like it. I like it a lot. But I just hope it keeps going for 20 more years.
After 10,000 years, I'm free. It's time to conquer Earth.
Alpha, Rita's escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.